Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Bourbon Obsessed Bourbon and Distillery News Podcast, your commercial-free, and therefore money-free, bourbon podcast for Monday, September 15th. I am Ed, and this week I am joined by my wonderful and knowledgeable wife, Karen. How are you doing, Karen?
Pretty good, Ed.
You happy to be here with me once again?
Yeah, okay. That's all right. Happy to fill in when Dean's not around.
All right, then. And you said that without air quotes.
Yeah.
So instead of asking you what you did this week, we will just dive into the first story because that's going to tie right in. Okay. So our first story is about the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and this year's Kentucky Bourbon Festival in Bardstown has come to a close. I really enjoyed it. I think Karen did too, although it was pretty tiring for her. So save the date for next year. It's September 10 to 13, 2026.
Yes.
And that'll be the Kentucky Bourbon Festival's 35th anniversary, so it's sure to be something special. Tickets will go on sale in the spring, and I'm sure they're going to sell out quickly once again. So be on the lookout, and you can sign up on the Kentucky Bourbon Festival website to be included in their email and notified about when the tickets go on sale. So we'll just run through some quick facts and statistics about this year's festival.
Okay.
So there were 7,000 ticketed guests, all 50 states, so I guess Alaska too, and Hawaii were represented, and there were also international attendees. It was the 34th year of the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, the fourth consecutive sellout, and as I'm sure many people know, the tickets sold out very quickly. There were 65 participating distilleries, 34 exclusive single-barrel picks, and what everybody finds interesting is that 85% of the ticket sales were from outside of Kentucky. So, Karen can tell us about her role with the Kentucky Bourbon Festival and a little bit about what she thought about this year's event.
So my role at the festival is I run the volunteer program for the festival. So we had over 100 volunteers this year, which was a lot. It was considerably more than last year. I thought it went well. Everybody seemed happy. There were some line issues occasionally here and there, especially for bottle sales, so I'm sure that will be talked about in the aftermath of planning for next year. But it is interesting that so many of the attendees are from out of state. There are plenty of people from the area supporting the distilleries that are local, or within the state, as you might suspect. But most of the attendees, the paying attendees, are from all over the country. The Oris Club, which was the highest ticketed membership you could buy, was 24 members, and those members, out of 24, 19 were from outside of Kentucky, which was pretty impressive. There were some 2 local folks, and then a few other from around the state, but most of them there were people from Florida and California, I think New York, Ohio, a few from Ohio, Indiana. So yeah, it was pretty. Folks were all over the place.
Yeah, so a pretty successful event, and we're looking forward to next year.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're looking forward to getting started working once again.
Looking forward to some rest, but then we'll look forward to next year. Sure.
Yes. All right, so moving on for some more Bardstown area news. So Heaven Hill Brands has celebrated the grand opening of the new Heaven Hill Springs Distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky. It's the company's first distilling facility in its hometown since 1996, when you'll all remember, or maybe not, when the distillery burned down, which was quite the fire. So, so it's good that they're back. And representing a $200 million investment, the new distillery began production in April 2025 with a starting capacity of 150,000 barrels annually and a scalability to 450,000 barrels annually. They're also continuing their production at their Bernheim distillery in Louisville, Kentucky, which is where all of Heaven Hill's bourbon was made until this distillery came back online. And key features of the distillery include a 60-foot Vendome copper still live yeast propagation is going to be done on site now. They have an on-site wastewater pretreatment facility. They're on a fairly large property, and they have a habitat restoration project as well as visitor areas, and there'll be tours that are available. And we're hoping to we've been there before it was fully open, but we're looking forward to going there now that it's completed.
Yeah. No, I thought it was interesting. I actually thought it was already open. I didn't realize they hadn't done the grand opening, so it was just the filling the first barrel back in April that they...
But it was open for production. It really wasn't fully open
they
for
didn't really celebrate
visitors.
Visitors yet.
Yeah.
The tour that's going to be there is the Heritage Rising Tour, which you can book through at Heaven Hill on the regular website, and it's $50. Those tours started on September 8th, I believe. The interesting thing is, so they have the one still now, but they showed, on the tour, they showed us two other holes, prefabbed areas where they'll be able to add two other stills and two other, they use the thumper. I believe they use the thumper.
I think
it was unusual for a bigger distillery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have plenty of room to grow, and we hope that they do so.
Well, I think the only thing that required more walls to be knocked out was to enlarge the area for the fermenters, right? But the rest of it it's already set up for the expansion.
But they had a space
place.
for an area, I think, for the fermenters.
Right.
It's
outside.
It would just have to be
at the moment
built out. Yeah.
In a related story, to mark the opening, Heaven Hill released Heaven Hill Master Distillers Unity, which is crafted from the last remaining barrel distilled at the original Heaven Hill Springs Distillery in 1991 by Parker Beam, mingled with 14, 8, and 6-year-old bourbons distilled at Bernheim. These bourbons were distilled, collectively, by former Master Distillers Parker Beam and Denny Potter, as well as current Master Distiller Connor O'Driscoll, uniting generations of craftsmanship. Bottled at 107 proof, the release is priced at $225 for a 750 milliliter bottle, with only 4,000 bottles available exclusively on site. And as far as I know, the only way you can get it on site is by taking the tour of the new Heaven Hill Springs Distillery, and then it's included in what I've seen as pictures of the tasting that you get to do at the end of the tour, and then you get to buy one bottle per person.
Yeah, which is good. Did you mention, though, also the so this distillery now and their future capacity makes them the largest independent maker of bourbon. Pretty impressive for Bardstown.
Yeah, well, I mean, between this and Louisville, I think this is equivalent capacity.
It is equivalent. It's 450 for Burnham, and once they get all the stills and everything online there, it will also be 450.
Yes, so it's almost 900,000 barrels a year.
That's a lot of bourbon.
That's a lot of bourbon. And continuing with Heaven Hills, a lot going on over there these days. So they've introduced the Bottled and Bond Artist Series collection, which is a collector's edition packaging celebrating the brand's history. The bottles feature 5 original watercolor illustrations by Kentucky artist Bree Bowers, including 2 that are only available at the visitor centers for the distillery. Offered at an MSRP of $49.99, the bourbon inside is the Heaven Hill 7-year Bottled and Bond bourbon. As part of the launch, select bottles will include a hidden golden cork under the capsule, giving consumers the chance to win a once-in-a-lifetime Kentucky bourbon experience that includes visits to both Heaven Hill distilleries and guided tastings with Master Distiller Connor O'Driscoll. The Artist Series collection will be available nationwide in September 2025, although supplies are extremely limited. So, yeah, I mean, everybody likes Heaven Hill 7-year Bottled and Bond.
We've got one. I picked one up at Kroger.
I thought we had more than one.
No, it's just one. We've got the Rick House. I came across another one, but I didn't end up buying it. I should have bought it. But they're very pretty. They're watercolors. This artist specializes in watercolors and has been an artist in Louisville for a while, although she's originally from New York, I think. But the bottles are very pretty. They're very... I like them. I'd like to get the collection because they're nice.
They're brightly colored labels
Yes.
as opposed to the sort of
It's like in
faded
color.
tone of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
regular Heaven you're saying.
Yeah.
But
And do you think anybody's going to find the hidden cork?
well, I don't know. I mean, it's what sort of makes them weird because these are bottles. While the bourbon inside is good and everybody enjoys it, it's
Right.
not like, it's some special bourbon that you're going to want to open it and taste. You can pick up another bottle of
Right.
the exact same thing.
Right.
So I think if people were buying them, just to collect the whole series, they're not necessarily going to open them. And so that golden cork that gives you those really cool. I would love because you get a tour of Bernheim.
Did you read the? I forgot to look at the dates on the contest. There's probably a range of dates that you have to find the ticket by, but
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
so you can't open it 20 years from now.
I forgot about that.
Expect a tour.
Oh look, I got the ticket.
so yeah, that's going to be interesting because it's both a collector's bottle that. People might want the whole set, and they're not necessarily going to want to break the seal on all of them if they're going to display them together.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I don't know.
We'll see.
Time
will tell.
We'll have to open ours if we want to win, too, which is, I don't know.
But I think even if you do, actually, I looked, even if you do find a golden cork, that doesn't mean you've won.
No, it enters you in the contest.
It enters you into the contest to win.
It's not like
so
Charlie
it's a
and the
drawing.
Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, it's just the golden cork doesn't ensure that you won. It's just it lets you enter the contest. So,
right.
Yes. Yeah. Point that out to the public.
Very good. Thank you for doing so. All right, moving on out of Bardstown, the Jack Daniel Distillery has launched the 2025 Hero Selection, a limited edition release in its single barrel collection honoring military service. Selected by U.S. Army veteran twin brothers and longtime Jack Daniel's employees, J.B. and L.B. McGowan, this year's expression is bottled at 125 to 140 proof and packaged in a collectible gift box adorned with a medallion highlighting Jack Daniel's military ties. It is available for $69.99 for a 750 milliliter bottle at military duty-free stores and in limited quantities at the White Rabbit Bottle Shop at the distillery. The annual Heroes Selection release is part of Jack Daniel's ongoing commitment to those who serve. Since 2011, Jack Daniel's Operation Ride Home campaign, in partnership with the Armed Services YMCA, has raised over $4 million to help more than 14,000 junior enlisted service members and their families travel home for the holidays.
Yeah, I like that story.
Yeah.
I like the twin brothers story. They served the military. The Operation Ride Home is pretty cool. We take it for granted that we're here and we could just drive home. But if you're in the military, sometimes you got to fly across the world. Yes, and that's not an inexpensive ticket. So that is a great cause. So you can buy the bottle at the White Rabbit.
Yeah, at the distillery, and
at
otherwise
the distillery
at military
in limited
bases.
quantities, or then on the shelf somewhere at your local liquor store.
No, military base.
Oh, that's right, the military base. Yeah.
So it is your local liquor store if you live on a military base.
Right. So they have the opportunity to purchase the bottles.
Yes.
But if you're a collector or whatever, you could go to Jack Daniel's and perhaps score a bottle also.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's very cool.
Good
story.
Whiskey for a worthy cause.
Absolutely.
All right, so next story I had actually put on my social media because the date for this happening has basically happened already, so I wanted people to know. So if you want to follow me on social media, Bourbon_Obsessed on Instagram and Bourbon Obsessed on Facebook, you can get these time-sensitive announcements that I can't, obviously put out a podcast announcing the specific things. So this one is Buffalo Trace Distillery announced a first in the distillery's history. This fall, Buffalo Trace Distillery is taking its award-winning bourbon on the road with a brand new traveling tasting experience. The distillery will launch Buffalo Trace Distillery on Tour, a tasting and retail experience coming to 4 U.S. cities: St. Louis, Kansas City, Jacksonville, and Tampa. Each stop on Buffalo Trace Distillery on Tour will offer a total of 10 complimentary tastings experiences spread out over 4 days with staggered afternoon and evening time slots. Each session will feature a guided tasting lasting approximately 1.5 hours and a lineup of popular brands including Buffalo Trace Bourbon, Eagle Rare 10-Year-Old, Weller Antique, and the new Sazerac 100 proof rye.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the experience is free to attend, like pretty much all Buffalo Trace standard events, though you must go online and reserve your ticket in order to participate. And this is the tricky part. So tickets went live on Wednesday, September 10th, and they pretty much sold out immediately. I don't know if people will cancel. I mean, probably worth continuing to check back if you're in any of those cities.
I did. I went on probably about 2 hours after they went on. They were available online. They were all sold out. On their website, however, on the Buffalo Trace website, it does say check back.
Yeah.
More tickets may be released. I don't know if they're going to add more tickets, but what happens is if people cancel, because they ask that you cancel if you cannot make the event, those tickets then would come back on for somebody else to pick up. So, yeah, keep checking back. It's certainly happened to us more than once where we've checked back and got a tour that we really wanted to do when it was already sold out. So
yeah, and especially for these events that are free, because it doesn't cost anybody to reserve their tickets ahead of time. Right. So, people may reserve many, people may reserve and then check their dates later.
Yeah.
So it's not a terrible chance that there might be something that pops up, but you probably have to be checking fairly frequently to catch it, because somebody else will grab those up right away. But anyway, I mean, it's a cool idea. It sort of goes along with like the outpost that they had opened in London.
Yep.
And
we did a similar thing a year ago, March. Yeah. Bushmills had done a program in Chicago, kind of the same way, where you could sign up to taste their products. They were bringing their show on the road. I think they went to other cities, but our closest
New York,
one,
I can't remember if it was more than New York and Chicago. But it was...
we went to Chicago.
And there were two shows that night.
It was very cool.
It was very cool.
It was really neat. It was enjoyable. So
they did a fantastic job.
Get out there and travel with Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, I mean, if you live in those cities, it's a little closer than going to Frankfurt. All right, our next story is Purple Toad Winery and Distillery of Paducah, Kentucky, has joined the Kentucky Distillers Association as its newest craft-level member, and that's defined as producing fewer than 10,000 barrels annually. Originally founded as a family-owned winery, Purple Toad became Paducah's first winery-turned-distillery in 2024, following McCracken County's approval of liquor sales the prior year. The distillery produces bourbon, other whiskey, vodka, and agave spirits, utilizing innovative techniques that repurpose winemaking byproducts to reduce waste.
Very cool. We've only been to Paducah once. We did go to a couple wineries.
I don't remember if this was one of them.
But they've been around since 2009, so they're not new.
No.
Which is really cool. And they had been sourcing bourbon and doing releases that way. And now they're able to lay down their own, which is pretty cool. Yeah. It's what happens when the liquor laws change. They wouldn't have been able to sell anything had they had done that before.
Yeah. I mean,
so that would be my guess.
I was not aware that... Well, for people that don't know, Kentucky has had many dry counties. Many over the years have stopped being dry and have had changed their laws, I think, largely because they realized they were missing out, because people are still going to drink and buy whiskey and whatever, and they're just going to other counties to do it, so you might as well get the benefit of it all. So I didn't realize that Paducah was in one where, I mean, obviously you could sell wine before there, and I guess beer, but you couldn't sell spirits. So they needed this law change to go into effect.
Yeah, so they're good to go. So congratulations to those guys.
Yeah, we'll have to try their bourbon one of these days.
It's another place we got to go to.
Yeah. All right, so leaving the state, we go to the American Distilling Institute has awarded its 2025 Distillery of the Year award, which they call the Bubble Cap Award, to Southern Distilling Company of Statesville, North Carolina. Founded in 2013 by Pete and Vienna Barger, the distillery has become one of the largest privately owned operations in the U.S., producing its Southern Star brand and contract distilling for more than 170 others. Southern Distilling has also played a key role in advancing legislation to expand opportunities for North Carolina craft distilleries. So another state that needed some law. changes.
Right.
To
Distilleries
go
needed,
through.
distilling needed some help. We went there, at least 5 years ago.
We've been there a number of times.
Yeah, we've been there, but it was first time. It was a while ago. Their setup is very cool.
Well, and it grown tremendously between our visits from having just those older, smaller stills to, what were there, like 5 different stills or something the last time we went? I mean, they've really grown.
Yeah, they're big. But they also, I mean, the kind of work that they were doing to help grow their industry within North Carolina is they helped get unlimited tasting room bottle sales, which has got to be huge, for these smaller places.
Yeah.
Serve cocktails, kind of the similar laws that Kentucky, I think, got, because Kentucky couldn't have bars and cocktail bars till the past few years. They could also do in-store samplings. So they really put it out there to help legislation be passed for the smaller distillers. So, sounds like it's well-deserved.
Yeah, and I think if memory serves me, Statesville had been a big distilling capital.
Yes.
For in the pre-prohibition years.
Pre-prohibition, yes.
So they're really just returning to what they were, and I think that was because all the railroads met there, so it was like the perfect place. That
sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I remember we got a history lesson when we were there.
And we've been there a couple times, so we've got it a couple times, so a little bit of it is actually stuck in our heads.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, good.
Hopefully. All right. I guess we can say just a quick word about this bottle here in front of us.
Oh, yes.
So what did you do yesterday?
Well, we took a drive down to Nashville.
We did.
To Nelson's Greenbrier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they were having a Cooper's Club event, which is their free to join.
Yeah, for their
club for their enthusiasts.
For their enthusiasts. Yeah.
And they have periodic events and deals. So this was called the Restock Your Bar event. So got to buy many of their regular lineup of bottles at a discounted price. And then on top of that, they let us taste a bunch of newer things coming down the line and do their bottle your own experience, where we got to bottle this 10-year.
It's a 10-year single barrel, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Which is actually quite good.
Yeah, it's what you're drinking now, right?
That's what I'm drinking now.
That's what you're drinking now.
Yeah.
No, the event was great. They provide food. You got a free cocktail. They had great local Nashville music there. The guy was playing country music. He was fantastic. It was a really very enjoyable event. It was only 2 hours, but we only drove 2 hours to get there, and it was great. I would certainly do that again.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. We're actually a big fan of theirs. The restaurant there is great. They have good food, good cocktails. The Cooper's Club opens up for membership periodically, so if you're a fan of theirs and you're within the area and you keep your eyes peeled or get on their mailing list.
Yeah, just get on their email list.
And get in the club, and you get to do all this stuff too.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, very cool.
So thanks to Nelson Greenbrier.
Yes. So our next story is Sazerac Barrel Select has announced the Elmer T. Lee Charity Sweepstakes benefiting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. For every $100 donation, entrants receive one chance to win a VIP barrel selection experience at Buffalo Trace Distillery with Master Distiller Harlan Wheatley. The prize includes a one-night stay in Stag Lodge, a private tour and lunch for up to 8 guests, a barrel select session, and an $18,000 cash prize, which can be used to purchase bottles from the chosen barrel. The sweepstakes runs September 8 to 30, 2025, with the winner notified the week of October 6th. And I guess it's not clearly stated in there that the barrel you get to choose is an Elmer T. Lee barrel, which is pretty unique.
Yes, it is that barrel. You get to choose Elmer T. Lee.
Yes.
Yes. Very cool. They've done it before, not a charity necessarily, but they've done picks of Elmer T. Lee, but not very often.
No, when was the last one? It was like over a decade ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've seen, only because I've seen them, people selling them on secondary. This is very cool.
Yeah, we would like to win.
And you can't win if you don't donate. So we...
well, you can because you have to legally.
You have to mail in your
but really, for charities, I have to say, I mean,
Well, we've always supported St. Jude's, and we made our $100 donation. Mm-hmm. It would be that would be quite the. Of all the picks you could probably do, that would be one.
That'd be a very cool
that'd be a
one.
very cool pick you could do. It sounds like the whole experience would be great because it's a VIP experience. So
well, you get to stay there in the lodge.
Yeah.
So donate to a worthy cause.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get the opportunity to.
And it
win
doesn't
a
last forever. That's a nice thing too. Like there's a quick, just started the 8th. It's over the 30th, and they're going to announce the winner the first week of October. So. It's something that you can keep on your radar and pay attention to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
All right, so our next story is Wild Turkey has unveiled a new global campaign. When you know it's right, don't change a damn thing. The ad campaign honors Master Distiller Jimmy Russell, 71 years of the distillery, making him the longest-serving Master Distiller in the spirits industry, and the brand's signature Wild Turkey 101 bourbon. At the heart of the campaign is a film directed by Kiko Ohe, Kiku, with GUT New York, featuring the Russell family and bartenders and fans from key markets. The film has a mixed media approach incorporating film stock, 8mm, 35mm, and digital and historical photos and artifacts which are reinforced by memorabilia from Jimmy's 7 decades in the industry. Rollout begins fall 2025 in the U.S., Japan, Australia, and South Korea across digital, social, TV, and print. And the centerpiece of this is the film, which you can watch on Wild Turkey's YouTube channel. And then they didn't really go into specifics, but I'm assuming all these other spots are going to be based on segments from that video and still photos and things like that.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Oh, yeah, I watched the whole thing.
What'd you think?
It's a cool little film.
Yeah, it's a nice little film.
Yeah,
it's not bad. I hope that gives us some traction.
What? Wild Turkey?
Yeah, I suppose that, they're needing to advertise in these markets. I don't know.
I don't know.
But it is a nice little film. So if you're not familiar with it, it's a good introduction, I think.
And we talked about, Dean and I had talked about on a prior episode when we talked about Campari's financial statement for the quarter. Mm. And as I recall, I think the premium brands, so the Russell's line was doing well. I think there was some slippage in the Wild Turkey 101, which you'd think would be doing well, except that being at a lower price point. But since we know that the economy tends to affect people with lower salaries than those with higher salaries, right. We buy Wild Turkey 101, but so it's going to affect the purchase of that, whereas the people that might earn more and might buy more Russells
right.
and the higher end Wild Turkey products, they are not feeling the crunch as much, so they're
still 101 is a solid
still
pour.
buying it.
It's
a very
it's
solid
still
pour.
A great value. It's along the lines of Evan Williams bottled and bond value. It's a great product that Turkey's had, and even though it may be like your entry level, somewhat people would consider it, it's a good pour.
No, it's a really good pour. But that sort of goes hand in hand with that statistic that something like over 50% of people that plan on drinking less in this coming year. But it's not all the reasons that everybody says. It's purely monetary. So people have less disposable income. And so things like that are going. And again, that's not going to affect the people that earn millions of dollars a year. It's going to affect the people that earn significantly less. Right. So, but I don't know how advertising is necessarily going to help.
How do you choose South Korea, though? How did that one get in there?
Well, I don't know, because international markets are different than ours. I don't know how you choose it.
No, it's interesting.
We'll have to get somebody from Campari on that phone. All right.
Don't hold the press for that one.
So the next one, our next story is Row 94 Whiskey, founded by country music star Dierks Bentley, is partnering with Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport, SDF, to launch a hologram experience. Beginning September 12, which was Friday, a life-sized hologram of Bentley will greet travelers, share the Row 94 story, and direct them to exclusive and signed bottles of his Broken Branches bourbon at the airport's Distillery District Marketplace, which is in the post-security rotunda. The launch on September 12 includes a press event with Bentley beaming in live from Nashville, a signed guitar giveaway, and Row 94 tastings. The hologram experience and tastings at select times will continue throughout September and October. The event coincides with the brand's first anniversary since launching in 2024.
What is the Row 94 story? Do you know? I failed to look that up. I forgot. My bad.
Yes.
Would you care to share?
Well, it's in my review from back when that bottle came out, and I do not remember the exact story offhand, but
sorry, Dirks.
We have the technology to do that right here. As I've said before, if I knew everything on my website, I would be the smartest person in bourbon.
How clever.
So, funny you should ask that, Karen.
Oh, excellent.
So, Row 94, according to the press release for his bourbon from last year, is named in part for the year Bentley moved to Nashville and began his career into storytelling and entertaining, as well as Nashville's Music Row. It is still where he resides with his family to this date.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, apropos, very apropos name. Well done. I don't know, it's a little scary, though, to get greeted by a hologram when you get out of security.
I don't know. It's giving you bourbon to taste, so...
That's true. So what could possibly be so bad about
fine
that?
With that, yeah. All right, so the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame honors 5 inductees during its induction ceremony on Tuesday, September 16th, so this week, at 11:30 a.m. at the Legacy at Log Still Distillery. This is not open to the public, though, but you can watch the live stream on the Kentucky Distillers Association's YouTube channel. This year's inductees are Craig Beam, Mary Dowling, Larry Ebersold, Chris Morris, who's receiving the Parker Beam Lifetime Achievement Award, and Damon Thayer. And I believe Dean and I had actually talked about all the inductees when they first announced them. Yeah, so a few episodes back if people want to listen in to that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Chris Morris is like the most knowledgeable. He's crazy knowledgeable. Like he just knows so much history too. He's been with Brown Forman for a long time, but his knowledge is just incredible.
Well, I think he's officially the Brown Forman historian.
Well,
as well.
And yes,
so,
well deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's amazing. So, congratulations to him and all of the nominees.
Yeah, congratulations to everybody.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on. So Diageo will close its Crown Royal bottling facility in Amherstburg, Ontario, by February 2026, shifting some bottling to U.S. operations to strengthen supply chain resiliency and move closer to U.S. consumers. All Crown Royal will continue to be mash distilled and aged in Canada, with bottling for Canadian and non-U.S. markets remaining at the Valleyfield, Quebec facility, but whiskey destined for America is going to be bottled here.
In the States.
Diageo notes its ongoing impact in Canada, because they want to say that they're not abandoning Ontario, which I believe is the largest buyer of spirits in the world or something like that. It's got it's a good customer, I suppose. So, and so Diageo notes its ongoing impact in Canada, with products supporting more than 9,700 jobs, over 3,000 in Ontario, and contributes more than 300 million Canadian in revenue annually to restaurants and bars. The company has invested about 150 million Canadian in Canadian production facilities since 2021 and will maintain Canadian headquarters and warehouse operations in the Greater Toronto area. Diageo will support impacted employees through this transition and will work alongside Unifor to provide assistance for its unionized employees.
Was this tariff related, do you think?
They don't come out and say that, but I'm sure it
had some effect.
Yeah, it has to, because if it's bottled here, well, I don't know, because the whiskey's still coming across.
Right, but it's in a different form, so my guess is that...
But wait, the whiskey's not even affected by the tariffs anymore.
But when they would have made that decision, it might have been. Do you
Or
know?
they were
This
worried about it, yeah.
Yeah. And it could change it. Literally. The drop of a hat.
It could change at the drop of a hat. But currently, that wouldn't make any difference. But,
No.
I mean, it's probably cheaper to bring it, who knows, down here in tankers than it is to bring it in cases. And
well, and they said it was going to be bottled somewhere in Alabama, and then they haven't built the facility yet. But why wouldn't you just go to Lebanon, where they have a distillery there?
Well, maybe they will, because if they're stopping by February 2026, that's not long ago.
No.
So, there's no.
They've got to have a plan.
Right, if something's not already almost underway, they do have the facilities here.
I would have thought they would have had the facilities here.
Yeah, I don't know everywhere Diageo does, but we do know they have Bullet, Stitzelweller, and the other Bullet productions facilities here in Kentucky.
Shelbyville and Lebanon.
I think it's in Lebanon. That one's not open to the public, so and they don't talk about it. It's like CIA headquarters. So. What happens in Diageo stays in Diageo.
Sure.
All right, so moving on. The Nashville Barrel Company, a non-distiller producer founded in 2018 and currently with 2 locations in Nashville, Tennessee, has announced their expansion into Kentucky. The Louisville Barrel Whiskey Co., as it will be called, will join the ever-increasing number of distillery outposts opening in the city. It is expected to open in early 2026 at 717 East Market Street in the New Lou neighborhood, across from Evergreen Liquors. The new space will have a tasting bar, bottle shop, and space for hands-on distillery experiences. So, yeah.
There are a lot of places to visit in Louisville. We have another story about a place coming to Louisville shortly.
I think we have stories every few weeks.
Right, but I mean, I was looking at the distilleries, tasting rooms. There's 16 or 17 places. A lot of them are on Main Street. A few are in New Lou, and then there's various others kind of just on the outskirts of, I guess, what would be considered the downtown area, not far, like within a mile and a half of downtown. So, yeah, there's hopefully they all stay busy. I mean, that would be my concern, is now the market just for those types of places is becoming pretty saturated in Louisville.
Well, it's definitely becoming saturated, but apparently they feel there's room for more. I mean, I think it's interesting. It was one thing when it was Kentucky. So what people don't know, for every Kentucky DSP that a distillery has, it's allowed to open one outpost somewhere else in Kentucky. So that partly accounted for many of these places springing up, because you now could do that. And of course, why wouldn't you want to go to the biggest city and have a place where people could try your whiskey and buy bottles? So I understand the Kentucky distillery is moving in, and that fits in with everything.
Right.
What's strange to me is the out-of-state distilleries that are starting to move in. We had Whistle Pig make that announcement like 6 months ago. And now we have these guys. That, honestly, I don't completely understand, because I think people come to Kentucky to visit Kentucky distilleries. Maybe that's going to change, and they're just going to come to visit everybody. But, interesting. So we'll see how
that plays out. It'll be interesting to see if that drives them business no matter where you're from, right? You don't have to be just Kentucky.
Yeah.
And maybe you can't make it to Nashville, so you check them out here. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we hope they do well.
Well, and it's just a segue into our next story, where Von Payne Spirits, the Gothic-inspired whiskey brand known for its gargoyle-adorned bottles, has acquired the historic Whitesides Bakery Company building at 1400 West Broadway in Louisville's West End. Built in 1908 and long known as the Castle, the 60,000-square-foot Mission-style landmark will be restored and transformed into the Von Payne Castle Distillery and Tasting Experience. The facility will showcase Von Payne's offerings, including its bourbon and bold blackcurrant-infused whiskey, and host immersive events highlighting the brand's darker edge, and that's, according to them, their terminology, darker edge. I'm not exactly sure what that refers to. But anyway, the project is expected to bring new energy, jobs, and investment to Louisville's West End. And if I recall, their original base is Florida. So they're basically another out-of-state company that's opening a...
The founder, Steve Allen, is from Clearwater, Florida. Yeah. And the idea for this... I told you the story. The idea for his whiskey came after he was being the designated boater driver for his of-age daughter and her friends, and they were pouring, apparently, vodka down their throats and to get the buzz. And he thought, well, isn't there a better, don't you have other options? And they were like, well, we don't like Fireball, we don't like these, we don't like that. So that kind of gave him the idea of making this flavored whiskey that would appeal to their age group. The building itself in that part of Louisville is very cool.
Yeah, no, that certainly seems
it's very cool. It's if they get it set up, it should be really neat. The only issue is that it is kind of outside, so it would have to be a destination. It's not a walkable route from downtown. Like if it's on the same side as Peerless, but it's still like a mile south of Peerless, and it's like 2 miles, two and a half miles almost from like if you were going to like New Lou or Rabbit Hole. I'm thinking so. It's on the other side, so it's pretty far. That would be my only worry, but. It could be a really cool building if they do it right and they set it up. Hopefully, it's not a money sucker.
Well, that was my question.
Because it's
what kind of condition is this in? Right. I mean,
it's from 1908. That building was from 1908.
And how long has it been?
I don't know if you said
vacant?
That.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, it's 1908. So
I mean, what kind of a monetary? I don't think that it mentioned how much this planned project was going to cost, but it sounds pretty expensive.
Yeah, and they source their whiskey right now too. Anyway, correct?
Yes.
They source their whiskey. So
I'm not clear they're going to be distilling it at this either. So
no, I don't think they are.
Yeah, so I think it's going to remain sourced. This is really a public-facing venue, not a production facility.
Yeah. It could be. The building could be cool. So the whiskey, you haven't tried it?
No.
Yeah, they have kind of like a dark arts type feel. Like they're kind of, I don't know, kind of gothic type.
Well,
feel
from the packaging and marketing, but I think the character of the whiskey is probably
that is intentional.
Very
that is
different
part of their
very different type of whiskey than dark arts.
No, I wasn't comparing it. I was comparing their feel as far as the labeling and all of that jazz.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I had originally gotten their press releases about the what's the berry?
Currant.
Yeah, black currant. But I don't usually report on the flavored whiskeys, so. Honestly, really didn't talk about it very much, but we're talking about it now because it's that's why we're talking about it now because it's opening.
It's going to be a space in Louisville. So.
Yeah.
Well, we hope we always wish everybody well, so we hope they do okay.
Yeah. Well, and black currant. Yeah.
Yeah, black currant.
So, for all the black currant whiskey fans out
there,
right? Well, I mean, I think it's popular. Whiskey. It must be doing well.
There are plenty of flavored whiskey fans. So, yeah.
But I mean, they had a few unflavored ones. I don't know what. I mean, one or two, I think. Yeah. But I don't know what. I suspect that doesn't take a very large share of their market.
They had a Von Payne Reserve, which was a. I don't know if they didn't say cast strength, but it's a higher proof. It was like 113, 7-year black currant. So could be good.
Was that one black currant? I thought there's a 7-year straight.
Oh no, that was the. You're right. Right. That's right. That was just the regular bourbon release that they did. Yeah.
So, all right, and then on to our last story.
Oh, that was fast.
Surprisingly, that was a lot of stories. Anyway, our next is On Your Six Bourbon, a bourbon brand founded by veterans in 2023, has secured a spot in Caesars Entertainment's National Beverage Program. Effective immediately, the bourbon will be available at Caesars properties in Nevada, Colorado, Florida, Louisiana, Maryland, Missouri, Nebraska, North Carolina, Ohio, and Virginia. The announcement follows the brand's Nevada launch at Caesars Palace in February 2025. On Your Six is a self-described purpose-driven company committed to honor and integrity. To that end, the On Your Six Foundation was created to support organizations that enrich the lives of local heroes and their communities. And that is really why we're including it here, because they're another brand that does do some charitable work.
Right. Yeah, I mean, first of all, scoring Caesars to get your whiskey distributed is pretty good.
It seems like a pretty major thing.
Yeah, so that's congratulations.
Very surprising for a brand that honestly, I have to say, I know next to nothing about.
Yeah, I've not really seen it here around in our area.
It hasn't been around for long. I mean, it was founded in 2023.
Right. What I liked about it is I didn't understand the name. So I looked up On Your Six, and so that was, the origin was, it was from World War I fighter pilots. So during aerial combat, pilots used, the analog clock face to indicate directions on their plane. So, 12, 3, yeah. Mm-hmm. So 6 was behind you, on your 6, meaning somebody had your back, basically. And which was your most vulnerable position when you're in a plane, aerial combat fight. So they donate to not just... they do donate to military causes, but they also donate to, like, first responders, like local heroes. I mean, it's all kinds of things. So they kind of include everybody, which is really neat. And I wish them lots of sales for Caesars, so they can donate more of my money.
Honestly, of course, the press release does not go into the background of this, but one would wonder exactly how a brand that's not even been around for 2 years landed a spot in Caesars. So
sometimes it's who you know, which is okay.
No, I mean, we have no idea. We're just speculating. But I mean, it is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So
no, I think it's a good story.
Yeah. Well,
On Your Six, we'll have to look for it.
We'll go win some money and try some On Your Six.
That's right.
And then we'll be able to buy more.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that about does it for this episode.
Okay.
I hope you have enjoyed this edition of the Bourbon Obsessed Bourbon and Distillery News Podcast, your commercial-free, and therefore money-free, bourbon podcast. Please be sure to join us next Monday for our new Bourbon Releases News Podcast. We'll have lots to discuss. Also, be sure to like and follow us at your preferred podcast provider so that you don't miss an episode. And don't forget to tell all your friends, too. You don't want to tell your friends?
I'm telling all my friends. Okay. Yes, I am.
You can also head over to bourbonobsessed.com to check out some of our over 350 bourbon reviews and over 50 distillery write-ups. While you are there, you can also sign up to have my newsletters delivered directly to your inbox. Finally, I can also be found on Instagram at Bourbon_Obsessed and on Facebook at Bourbon Obsessed, and would love for you to follow me there as well. Karen, where can they find you?
Right here.
And nowhere else.
Nowhere else.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Well, thanks for joining me on today's show.
Sure. You're welcome.
Bye, everybody. Cheers.
Bye, folks.